Welcome back to another video from the Debate Room Podcast. It's episode 155, the Week 5 NFL recap. An amazing week, multiple upsets, just a great week. We got a banger game for the Monday Night Football game. Chiefs lose to Jags 31-28 on the last second touchdown from Trevor Lawrence, and then multiple mistakes led to the Chiefs not having an actual chance. We'll talk about it, man. It was a great week of football though. Make sure you guys like the video, share the video, and comment how your team did in week 5. Follow us on our social media platforms up at the top of the screen. We're gonna get right into it though. It is late to save time. Jaguars upset Chiefs. Move to 4-1. They are pretty high up there in the AFC standings. They probably tied for second or first, one of those. Probably tied for first, but
I'll look it up quick.
I think they're 4-1. Everybody else is like 4-1.
Yeah, I mean 4-1 and aren't even running.
The Colts should be the first seed because they have
4-1. They're not even winning their own division right now, which is nuts.
Yeah. So let's talk about what we saw from this game. Jaguars, very impressive win. Their most impressive win of the season. I think people thought they would improve. But I would say being 4-1 through their first 5 games is a little bit of a surprise. I can see people saying 3-2. I don't think many people had them beating the Chiefs. So they didn't really do it in like how they won games this year, because their defense has usually been a lot better than what it was tonight. They obviously got that pick 6, which they've been turning teams over the most in the NFL this year. But outside of that, Mahomes and the Chiefs are moving the ball down the field with ease. But their offense, it was pretty good. I think Trevor Lawrence really put like their offense on his back tonight. Honestly, with the runs, he had a great throw to BCJ at the end of that game. He had a great throw to Travis Hunter. This is one of Trevor Lawrence's best games of his career. What do we see from this game from the Jaguars, from the Chiefs? Let's start with the Jaguars because they won a game. What do we see from them to get this win and move to 4-1? I'll start with Max. You haven't been on the podcast in a week.
I can't lie. Like, this game for me, it is just the confusion of what Trevor Lawrence is as a quarterback and as a prospect going forward. I seem to always get my assumptions of Trevor Lawrence wrong because of some of these games. Like, that last touchdown was just disgusting. Falling on the ground, tries to get up, can't get up, gets back up, and then powers through a tackle to go score the last touchdown. Obviously the fumble and on the 1 yard line wasn't ideal, but like, again, being down against KC, leading that minute drive at the end, I get the PI helps. But like, this is a game where it's like, why can't T-Law continue this? I understand his passing games coordinator sucks, but like, why is T-Law? I just don't get the inconsistencies. So from the Jaguars perspective, if I'm a Jaguars fan, I love it because, again, when Trevor shows me this, I believe in him. We're 4-1. You could really push the table as far as how the AFC South looks, and maybe you even make it to a bye at this point in time. I think they have a very favorable schedule the rest of the way through. And then next week he'll come out and just play like shit. So I think this consistency with Trevor is frustrating, but when you see this kind of game, it's hard to not be surprised and hard to not be excited for what he could be going forward.
Q?
From this game, I understand that like Mahomes moved the ball, but also he got a lot of deep shots and he did some things with his legs. Same thing kind of like Trevor Lawrence did. I think they kind of played each other to a stalemate, but the defense, I would say, for the Jaguars is kind of as advertised. It was kind of like we couldn't really know because they played the Panthers and injured 49ers and like teams like that. So it was like, then they got a whole bunch of turnovers, like 13 turnovers. They had 9 all last year. They got amazing turnover luck this year. And again, they went into this game and still got a turnover, a pick 6 that led to points on the board, put them in favorable position. Kind of got cheated into an interception that also put points on the board for KC, but they weathered that storm, came back. Trevor Lawrence had a legacy drive, went down, scored, touchdown, an incredible fashion. Amazing with his legs today. Like you said, if I'm a Jags fan, I feel real good. Schedule cool. They just gotta be able to handle the teams in their own division. They really kind of control their destiny toward making the playoffs, and I think that's I wouldn't say it's crazy to say that's clearly on the table. I don't
Yeah.
see major aggression with this defense right now, and the offense is just gonna continue to get better. So yeah,
Quick thing. They beat the Colts like historically, as if it's like historically, they usually beat the Colts, right? They usually get that last one against the Colts, the Jags.
sure.
What
Yeah.
is their record versus the Texans?
The Texans, they haven't been beating the Texans, but they always play the Texans well. Like they always play. It's the Titans that they never used to be able to beat, but that was when they had Derrick Henry.
I'm
They
trying to
could
make
beat.
sure. Last 10 games. What? Two pretty I mean, they're what? 6 and
They beat them the
4.
last. They beat them when they just played, but
6 and
before that, it
4.
was like
6 and 4
20.
the
It
last
was
2
close
games.
games, huh?
6 and 4 in the last 10, I think.
Yeah,
So
so
that's
they
fine.
decent.
1-3 the last 4 though.
Go ahead, get into your little spiel, man.
I think this was the first game that this is the first game in a long time that Trevor Lawrence looked like a generational player. This is the first game he looked like what he was supposed to be pre-draft. The first game in a long time. Haven't seen this level of performance from him probably since 2023. Probably. He was amazing tonight. The Jaguars have made their money this year running the ball, and they were not able to run the ball efficiently with their backs tonight. But Trevor Lawrence put the offense on his back. He was scrambling and hurting the Chiefs with his legs. He made big time throws when they needed him, and he led that clutch drive to win a game. I think Trevor was stellar tonight. The interception he threw should have been PI, and I can't count that fumble really against him. I think Bolton made a great play on that play. I'm not gonna really count that against him. He made a few mistakes, but to beat Kansas City, you were down 14. They scored 21 unanswered, which part of that 7 was the Lloyd interception. But to come back down 14 and beat the Chiefs, that's very, very impressive. And Jacksonville has gotten off to a really great start this year. And you got to think that they're nowhere near their ceiling, kind of, because Trevor Lawrence hasn't been great this year. The offense in totality, especially the passing offense, hasn't been great this year. So if they can continue to mature and grow in this offense, they're going to be a dangerous team in the playoffs because of the weapons they have, because of the defense they have. I think highly of Liam Cohen as a coach. So they're in the driver's seat right now in AFC South. Oh, no, actually the Colts are. But
like both 4-1.
Yeah,
Like,
they're going to be a playoff team this year, and they could potentially be dangerous in the playoffs. And the AFC is kind of wide open right now, honestly. So that's an extremely encouraging win from them. They show great resilience in this game, especially when most people, after you got to go get a touchdown, a minute 45 seconds left. A lot of quarterbacks, a lot of teams wouldn't have been able to execute that drive. I think the Chiefs did help them though. Just doing a whole bunch of dumb shit. Like I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I do get aggravated when Patrick Mahomes gets sold. Now, was he perfect in this game? No. But this was a very costly loss for the Chiefs. They'll be fine in the grand scheme of things, but this is a game they really couldn't afford to lose because they have Detroit next week. And I think Detroit is probably going to win that game. Going 3-3 before Rashee Rice comes back is much better than being 2-4 when he comes back. And their schedule softens out a bit, so they'll be able to regain ground. But they had an opportunity to catch the Chargers, I believe, as well in the division. And now they're still a game back after this loss. So it's just a very, very costly loss. It was a very uncharacteristic game for them. That's not a game that a team that wins 3 championships, that's not the type of game they have. They had 13 penalties. Their penalties those penalties were the reason they lost the game. Like, you can highlight the Mahomes pick. It was a great play by Devin Lloyd. He completely tricked him. He thought he was going to rush, and then he like fainted back into the zone and read Mahomes' eyes. Mahomes locked on that read, but that was just a great play by Devin Lloyd, who has been making great plays like that all year. But 13 penalties, and they were costly. Like DPI on third down, DPI in the end zone, 2 holding calls on kickoffs that one made the last drive harder, and one wiped out a 62-yard kickoff like that. Like it was just
taken out of bounds too.
Yeah,
three special teams play penalties off kickoffs.
Yes, and then Bucker, who has been low key like not great this year at all, because missed kicks, and he just kicked the ball. He kicked the ball out of bounds. Like you can't win games when you shoot yourself in the foot that much. Like their margin for error is not that big, and they definitely would have won a game if they didn't have 13 penalties. I'm very sure of that. They were able to move the ball efficiently against this offense. The Jaguars defense really didn't have much for the Chiefs outside of that interception. They stopped them probably 2 more times after that in the last drive. So it was a very encouraging day from the Chiefs offense, honestly. And the defense and special teams just made way too many mistakes. Chris Jones giving up on that last play when Trevor Lawrence was on the ground. Like, it's just uncharacteristic shit from a championship quality team. Very disappointed. People that are trying to put the blame on Mahomes, that's the really good series. Like, I think that the biggest blame was the defense, special teams. Then you can say Mahomes for the pick. But again, they tied the game up right after that, and then he made another drive to give them the lead. And he had 360 yards total tonight. Let me see how many rushing yards he had. He had 370 yards total tonight.
Some context behind that tied the game after the pick six.
I understand.
Let's relax on that.
No,
he could have been on 7.
He didn't even do anything. He ran the ball.
That's fine. No, he made a pass to Travis Kelce. What are you talking about?
One pass, and what they do after that, Kareem Hunt hit.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's cool. I mean, Trevor Lawrence threw a pick. It should have been up.
Refs really tried to hand the game to Mahomes, and
yes, the refs tried to hand the game to Mahomes. Teams 13 penalties. They tried to hand the game to Mahomes with 13 penalties. I'm so sure, bro. Sure.
The refs tried to hand him the game with that missed PI, and the defense and the special team said, "Nah, let's go win it the harder way." That's what happened.
And also, I really feel like that first PI on that third down on Jacksonville's first touchdown drive, when I don't think that was PI, but hey, that's just me. You know what I'm talking about? I think Jalen Watson slips, and it was like really incidental contact.
Yeah.
Like, that was low key. But
BTJ slipped. BTJ slipped, and that called Jalen Watson slipped, and they called it on Jalen Watson. Yeah,
that was a little crazy.
Hey, it's Jacksonville. They at the crib.
370 yards total, 70.7 completion percentage, bro. Like, come on, dog. Like we ain't doing that.
We got to move next topic. We're talking about penalties right now. We got to move. If we're saying both teams got rigged in the game, let's go to the next topic.
What we're not gonna do is blame Patrick Mahomes. This is what we're not gonna do. I don't think
anybody blaming Mahomes, man.
But go ahead though. Y'all
you want me to introduce next? I'll introduce next topic easily. Should I go into it? Hello.
What?
I was just saying, go to the next topic if we're just gonna argue about penalties.
Nah, we covered the Chiefs.
That's what I'm saying.
Next.
Y'all have nothing to say about the Chiefs. Okay.
No, not really.
Okay, I guess.
I think it was uncharacteristic.
They had a bad game.
I agree. I think it was uncharacteristic loss.
I still think they're making the playoffs. Like, I'm not really super worried about it, bro.
I ain't
gonna lie though, bro. That's just a loss.
It's tougher, and they need to go. They still need to make 2 moves. I think they need to get a running back and probably somebody in the defense, maybe a real edge rusher or another corner, but they'll be fine.
I think.
Luckily, for the Chiefs, DJ Reed and Terry Honor are both out. I mean, so that'd be pretty good for them.
I just think, like, after the Ravens game last week, this just feels a little weird with how good they were last week and how dominant they were versus the Ravens. I think this is one where it's just like, then they lose this game. But
bro, I ain't gonna lie. Outside of penalties, they probably won like when you look at the box score, they probably
they outgained them out there.
I understand, but like then penalties are part of the game though, and they lost it.
No,
like
sure.
that's what they lost the post.
Sure.
I said the same with the Bears. Same with the Bears week 1 with the Minnesota game. Like They were just a better football team the entire time, except for the end when the penalties ended up killing them, eating them alive.
Yeah, they had about like close to 100 yards on the ground, 300 yards. That's without Mahomes rushing. And they had like 300 yards passing. They probably had 400 total yards. Let me see how what the Jaguars not even there yet. They're definitely not close to that for sure. They were like 300 yards total. They had the time of possession probably. They outgained them. It's just the penalties really just messed them up, bro. So it gets tougher because the Lions are next week. Hopefully they can win that game, man. I don't know. But let's move on to my guy. My guy, Drake Maye, out-duels Josh Allen. Q's guy on prime time. Clearly outplayed him. Clearly outplayed him. My question is
never mind. Go ahead.
That's my question. Do the Patriots have their franchise quarterback?
Dumb question. We thought this during the draft process. I think all three of us were on this train.
It's not a dumb question, bro. But go ahead.
First off, I'm a Drake Maye fan.
I understand.
Second of all, I never heard ever in my life one person put up 250 and no touchdowns. Clearly outdueled the dude that put up 300 and 2 touchdowns.
Drives with a running back finish it off. He led drives with a running back.
That never was a thing ever until yesterday. Like that only had that was never
drives with a running back finish it off.
A lot of the outduels the simple fact that they beat the Bills.
He played better than them.
Sure, slightly.
Okay.
He made one less mistake. Whoop-de-doo. Whatever the case may be.
Did you have to debate it in your head? Who played better?
I thought about it, yes.
Oh, my God.
Because you tried to slip in there that, matter of fact, it wasn't even you. Ant tried to slip in there 3 incompletions on the last drive when it wasn't acting like it was in 3 drops. Shakir and James could mess up the final drive that was supposed to be a touchdown drive. And with less time, now we might be having a different story if Lil Shakir ain't drop a pass, a costly pass. Regardless, obviously they found their franchise quarterback. Clearly they found going to the draft. I'm pretty sure we was on the fact that he was at least QB2. For me, I like Drake Maye is like my favorite build of quarterback. Obviously, I'm a Josh Allen fan, Justin Herbert fan. They pretty much built the same way. Raw, crazy arm talent, mobile, big, strong, fits up like in that cold, like he could play in the cold. Like he's just the perfect guy for them. The Patriots needed, because they've basically been watching Josh run the division for the past 4 or 5 years. They needed something like that to compete with that. And they got their version of Josh Allen. So when they go up there or they come there, they feel like they're always have a fighting chance. Like they feel like they got somebody that can match that. And that's all they needed, because that's all that quarterback is very important. And if you got a monster like that in the division, you need some type of monster for yourself. Whether he gets the top 5 or not, that's up in the air. I think he got the talent to be in that kind of conversation. Just got to see it. This is a good starting block. Great numbers right now. Clearly, I think they're probably obviously going to make the playoffs. So I think they're fine. Second year, new coach. I think they're pretty much stable right now, and I think they have a lot to look forward to.
Max, do the Patriots have their guy?
Yeah, I think again, it's not a dumb question. You obviously have to ask it, but I think us three specifically, I think Jaden was too, but we were all high on him through the draft process. I like Drake Maye a lot. I watched him a little bit in college, but kind of seen him progress to the NFL. I got shit on for saying the Patriots were going to be a playoff team this year. I got shit on in the comments. When we posted it, the comment sections and everything. I had the Patriots making it over the Broncos, I believe too. I just didn't. With the schedule they had, with the defense they had, and with Drake Maye elevating his play a little bit more, I think this team was definitely poised to make a run. Did I think they'd win this game? Hell no, I did not. I think this is a great culture win. Obviously, we saw Stephon Diggs antics going into it. He was playing on a different level that game. He was trying to hype everyone else to play up on a different level that game. Drake was a stud. He made game-winning plays. He just made plays that a second-year guy you wouldn't expect him to make. And I think, going forward, I mean, obviously, I think some of those rookie and young player plays will still kind of come out, just some of the decision-making things. But through the first couple weeks, Drake has looked good on the ground, and he's very good throwing the football as well. Some of the throws in the run, specifically to Stephon Diggs, I think there was like 2 of them out of bounds. The one where he was getting like pushed down and still flipped it out. Like they're just very pro level plays, very all pro level plays that a lot of guys can't get. So I think it's funny when you talk about Q's. I didn't even think about it, but when you think about top 5 going forward, like Drake needs to elevate his game that much more, I think, to be considered a top 5 guy, because you have Lamar, you have Josh Allen, you have Pat, you have Herbert, you have Burrow, you have Jaden Daniels playing really well. Huh?
What was the name you said?
Burrow, Herbert, Daniels, Burrow, Herbert.
Right now.
You're better than wait, what?
Right now.
All right, well, I don't agree with that one. But all these players are super young. Again, do I have Jaden Daniels as top 5 quarterback right now? No. But he is so young and has such potential to get to that point. So I think the NFL is in very, very good hands as far as the quarterback position. I think, again, I'll throw Caleb in there for sure. I think that there are guys who show the talent that they could make the leaps and the jumps up to those levels if they can progress through, if the offense and the team around them can help them to be the best player. Drake looks to be doing a lot with very, very insignificant weapons compared to what these other guys have, and he's still making it work. I think his defense, the defense in New England is good, the coaching staff is good, but the offensive weapons are not great, and he's still being able to make winning plays and beat a team like the Bills in Buffalo. It's a huge win, and I think especially for Drake Maye believers, that's a big one.
No, I think that Drake Maye is becoming a star in front of our very eyes, and the win against the Bills really put it on the main stage for everybody to see. It's in prime time, everybody's watching, millions of people, and he outplayed the second best quarterback in the NFL. The plays he was able to make outside the pocket, rolling right, were clutch. He made some really, really on time, on target throws under pressure. He was pressured on 38.9% of his dropbacks and still finished the game with, I think, like a 70% completion percentage. He did take a few sacks, but he is playing at a borderline MVP level this year without the requisite talent to be doing so. They don't have a great number 1 receiver. I mean, Stephon Diggs has been amazing over the last 2 weeks, but unless he's turned the clock back to like 2023, he's outside the top 15 as a wide receiver. I mean, Keyshawn Butte he's cool. They don't have great backs. I mean, Ramondre Stevenson cannot take care of the ball.
They both
Gibson might be out for a year, I think. And he isn't great either. And they haven't been playing Travion Henderson as much as they should. So it's been clear to me since his rookie year that he was the franchise quarterback for the Patriots, but now they need to actually put that talent around him so that he can consistently look like this against some of the top teams in the NFL, so that what we saw on Sunday night is the norm instead of just like a once in every season type of thing. So I think they got their quarterback of the future. They got to put the weapons around him. Mike Vrabel has to continue to be a great leader. Josh McDaniels is just he just belongs with the Patriots. So his play calling has been fine as well. So I think they do got the guy, obviously. And I believed in Drake Maye since his freshman year at UNC. So I've always been on this train. I'm going to keep riding it. No did. But let's
not called for, but that's cool. Keep going.
I guess that was kind of crazy to me. But
you didn't need to say it in the first place. You didn't need to say, that your original comment just was not needed.
Okay, I guess.
I would continue to be a fan.
The Bills obviously lost this game. They don't have too many impressive wins this year, honestly. In my opinion, at least.
I don't.
Do you disagree? Look at the teams they beat. The combined records
I just think that doesn't matter because you're gonna have to say that literally for the whole entire year because we know the schedule is bad.
There hasn't been many games, and I also think the way they beat Baltimore was very impressive. I get they dug themselves in the hole, but the way they're able to get back out of it, I thought was impressive.
They didn't dig themselves in the hole. The Bills didn't turn it. It's not like they turned the ball over or anything.
I'm just saying they were down like that. Like they were down 20 points.
They didn't. What if you dig yourself in the hole? That means you're the one causing like the digging.
I guess I'm saying the defense.
Baltimore was just running all over them. They can't stop the run. The defense is bad.
If Derrick Henry doesn't fumble, I mean, it's obviously a big if. But if Derrick Henry don't fumble, we not. But hey, I mean, that's. But again, the Ravens haven't been good this year. Like so, I mean, hey.
But I also think that like we have the sustained knowledge of knowing that Buffalo's been a good team year in and year out.
No, they're going to be a good team. They're going to be a threat to make the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that. But my question is, should we be concerned about the Bills' defense? And are they still the best team in the AFC?
One, they were never the best team in the AFC. Two,
who do you think the best team in the AFC is?
I don't think there was a clear coming into the year. I don't think there was a clear best team in the AFC.
I mean, let's say after 4 weeks.
After 4 weeks, I would have said it was the Bills.
Okay,
sure, but the Bills' defense was bad last year, and it's bad this year. Like, I'm not about to be concerned. They went to the AFC Championship last year with a bad defense. They're again 4-0 to this, 4-1 now with a bad defense. And even yesterday, they still pretty much held the Patriots to under 25. They weren't really like able to do that. Again, if you want to knock them for they're not having impressive wins, they're never going to have an impressive win this season outside of like if and when they play the Chiefs, Texans, Eagles. Those are the only 3 games on their schedule left that like could be impressive wins. But other than that, it's going to be 14 other games of bad teams, and we knew that going in. So to use like I don't really want to talk about their wins because they're pretty much not going to be impressive at all. They do have a good win in the Baltimore Ravens. Like in hindsight, obviously it wouldn't be a good win, but at the time that they played, the Ravens were a great team and they were literally smacking them around and they came back and beat them. Like that happened. So,
are you worried about the Bills defense, Max?
I'm not worried about the Bills. I guess like we've seen different iterations of this team with bad coaching, with bad receiver rooms, with a bad defense, and it's been fine. So again, I think it's like I'll say Josh Allen's going to carry him to it, but it's not just him. They do have pieces that obviously can win football games. So I'm not very nervous about a division win or a division loss. It doesn't scare me all that much, I guess.
That's it. Okay, I mean,
I think it's like I don't know. It's like early in the season. I'm not like I feel like it's overreactions to be like super nervous. But like again, I think that this team has had bad defenses before. Like that's not a lie. And I feel like Josh Allen might be playing better football last year and this year than he ever has before. So,
yeah, I mean they'll be fine in totality, I think. But I think that their pass defense hasn't been bad this year. They haven't faced like the best quarterbacks. Their pass defense hasn't been bad. It hasn't been bad. Do you want me to go pull the numbers? I can go get the numbers.
Pull it up and then tell me who they play. And then
okay, yeah. I mean, again, I just said they haven't faced the greatest quarterbacks. Their run defense has been awful though. They've been able to everybody has been able to run on them. The Patriots, I don't think they did that great of a job running on them.
They didn't run well on the ground. They got carved. They pretty much got carved up in scramble drills.
That's pretty much because though they were able to load the box. No one is scared of the Patriots' weapons. So they were able to load the box and stop the running game. And also, again, the Patriots don't have great backs. Go ahead.
I knew Diggs was going to be able to do this. He just needed to get comfortable and be back. I think people overstated an ACL injury in 2025 when it's not a definite anymore. And Diggs was still on pace to perform last year as a wide receiver too, what he was going to do when the Bills started phasing him out. As long as you can still run elite routes and be able to separate, you will be fine playing wide receiver in the league. And he can still do that at a high level. He's still getting open. He just hasn't learned the playbook fully just yet because he had a lot of antics going on in the summer. Don't really know. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to leave that to the side, but he's slowly getting back.
Yeah, you can't write a better story than what Stephon Diggs was able to do in this game. Game-changing, game-defining plays alongside Drake Maye in the Bill Stadium with all of the emotions that he had going into that game, playing against teammates he played against for years. So I know he had a ball winning that game. But yeah, the Bills defense, it will be problematic at some point for sure. But luckily, I
get some players back. Like Larry Ogunjobi, very good run stopper. He was suspended for the first 5 weeks. They got a couple of other DTs that were hurt. Ed Oliver hasn't played in 3 weeks. So hopefully they get their first round corner hasn't played a game yet. I'm not a big Maxwell Harrison fan, but he is able to turn the ball over. So hopefully when they get their full cast back, they'll be able to actually play as a unit. Do I think it's going to get much better? Not at all. They get to the playoffs and their defense is garbage anyway. They're just going to have to learn how to play like this on offense till then. So
I think it depends on who they face. Like I think that's really that may only be an issue when they see Kansas City, honestly, because outside of that, they'll be able to beat Kansas City. I think too. That sounds crazy.
If they get to bye, I'm not worried about whoever they face in the divisional round because it's most likely not going to be the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Like, if they get to bye, they're not seeing the Chiefs to the AFC Championship game anyway.
Yeah, so I think in the grand scheme of things, that the Bills, their defense may not be fine, but in totality, they'll be fine. All right, I have a Drake Maye would you rather. Let's do a Drake Maye would you rather, and this is about which quarterback you would rather have going forward. First name up, CJ Stroud.
Drake Maye.
Yeah. I'm wrong with Drake Maye.
I've been talking about this. I've been talking about this CJ Stroud stuff for like the past 2 seasons. Like the more games go by, the more like I'm being validated on that. 44-point game notwithstanding.
I think CJ Stroud is super talented, and I think that he doesn't have the requisite weapons or offensive line to really benefit him. But I think what Drake Maye can do in the ground game and his escapability is just better than CJ Stroud's. So I'll take Drake Maye going forward.
I think his potential is obviously out of this world.
Next name up, Trevor Lawrence.
Drake Maye. There's a conversation that we had that he's probably better than him already right now.
It's games like this though where I don't agree with that sometimes, but again, Drake Maye played a great game, and I think again Drake Maye has not had the inconsistencies yet that we've seen with Trevor. So, like going forward, if I had to pick a player, yeah, I'm probably rolling with Drake.
I mean, he wasn't inconsistent last year, but I mean,
Trevor?
No, Drake Maye.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's played long enough to where we can see inconsistencies from him. That's what I'm saying.
I will take Drake Maye. But I still believe in Trevor though. I was a fan of Trevor. I've been a fan of Trevor. I think he's good. He's good. Well, he's not good right now, but he could potentially be good. I'm not gonna lie. It is year 5 though, so we're gonna have to turn it around very soon. It is actually year 5. That was kind of when I heard that today. I'm like, damn, it's year 5. But like, I don't know, he might be just who he is. Next name up is Jordan Love.
Give me Drake Maye. Is this a little closer than it's a little closer than the other two for me, but Jordan Love and CJ Stroud, I think they're usually for me, they're usually together in rankings. So if I'm gonna take Drake Maye over CJ Stroud, I'm gonna take him over Jordan Love. Younger, more runway, already clean, like a little bit cleaner so far right now. I think he has more chance for exponential growth. I think Jordan Love probably closer to finished product.
It's probably slight hater in me, but I'm mentally taking I'm probably taking CJ over Jordan Love. If I really had to think about it, I'm probably taking CJ over Jordan Love. So in that case, I'm gonna roll with Drake over Jordan Love.
I'm gonna take Jordan Love for the moment. I need to see more. Drake is my guy. I need to see more. I'm not gonna lie.
Jordan Love is better right now, but again, I'm going forward. I'm gonna roll with Drake.
He is younger, but I want to see more. I want to see more.
Sure.
Next name up is Jaden Daniels.
I'm still going Drake Maye because that's my pre-draft. I had him better. I think he was in a worse situation. I think obviously Jaden Daniels hasn't played a lot this season, but I think Drake Maye just has been better so far. So I'm cool. I'm again get validated every game he play.
Max.
I did not even hear what you said. I can't lie.
Jaden Daniels.
I mean, this is one. I said this at the start of the year this year. Even after Jaden Daniels' great year, going forward, I'm still gonna rock with Drake Maye.
I'm taking Drake Maye because that's what I had pre-draft. I mean, Jaden Daniels was excellent his first year.
Only been 1 year.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels was excellent his first year. I'm not gonna knock him right now. I would say he is the better quarterback. I had Drake Maye pre-draft, and I think that the health thing could play a factor in it. Jaden Daniels has a slight frame. He has gotten injured in both his first 2 years. That's kind of scaring me a bit. So yeah, I'm gonna take the 6'5", 230-pound. Okay.
Crazy. You sound
He's been on one today. He said a lot today.
Let's see what this shit. Don't give me salivating and fantasizing. Okay, last name is gonna be Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I was waiting for this one.
Drake Maye. Drake, I'm not thinking choice again. My favorite.
Not biased.
That's my favorite builder quarterback, bro. It's not much. You can't teach 6'5", 230, rocket arm, mobile, able to take hits. You can't teach that.
Yeah, that's where if I look at it today, again, like my bias, I'll keep Caleb again. I love Caleb. I'll support him. But if I'm looking at it as two blind quarterbacks, it's pretty tough to go against Drake Maye right now. And again, I think everyone's going to say this is an overreaction. But again, when you look at production and what he has shown, right, with what he can do on his legs, how he throws the football, again, I love Justin Herbert. I see Justin Herbert in him. You still see the Josh Allen kind of things in him. He's just, I don't know. I would probably roll with, not probably, if I'm taking them both blindly, going with Drake. But I'm happy with Caleb. I believe in Caleb. Caleb's going to be a stud, so I'm not worried.
I'm going to take Drake Maye. I think that the 2024 class has 3 franchise quarterbacks, though.
I agree.
So I think going forward, this is going to be a conversation we have for the next 10 to 15 years if everybody can stay healthy. But I still believe in Caleb. I still believe in Jake Daniels. I still definitely believe in Drake Maye.
So if you have Michael Penix as a franchise quarterback, then which of Caleb, Jaden Daniels is Drake Maye is not?
Michael Penix is not a franchise quarterback.
Oh, my
bro he's older. He's like 40.
Who was the last one? JJ's last one. I keep trying to think of it. It will be like one of those guys will be in a graphic. one of those 3 guys, but I might honestly be Bo. But one of Bo, Penix, or JJ is going to be on a bad graphic in 5 years. When you show this quarterback class, one of those guys going to be put on the graphic wow, first round quarterback.
No, I think yeah, JJ. I'm not.
I don't think anyone was out of this. We were all shocked when he got drafted.
All right, Baker outduels Sam Darnold in their clutch win over the Seahawks. I think the Buccaneers and Seahawks are two of the best teams in the league. Honestly, I'll probably have both of them in the top 10 or close to it. This was an electric game. They won 38-35. Baker another game-winning drive. Sam Darnold has gotten off to a great year. Baker is probably
best quarterback in the NFC.
No, that's not what I was going to say. But
I mean, in all fairness, I'll pose that question right now before we do it. Is it Baker or Dak or who? Who's the best quarterback in the NFC right now?
Dak, stop.
Does Baker have a chance?
No, the national media going into the year had Baker higher than Dak by a lot.
PFF overall or right now?
PFF,
I guess both.
Like the 17th best quarterback.
Dak has been balling. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, a lot of people had Baker being better than Dak, which I thought was crazy.
Dak is better. Dak has been better this year and is better in totality.
Sure, Baker also. I'm just saying, I think
Baker was only better than Dak 1 year ever in his life, and that was last year when Dak missed 8 games.
Q, you always say, man, what have you done for me recently? And last year,
what has Dak done? Dak has been probably the MVP through
it's only been 4 weeks. It's only been 4 weeks, man. And he tied a football game. Doesn't count.
2 questions for the Bucs and Seahawks game. Are the Buccaneers serious contenders in the NFC? And is Baker in the lead right now for MVP?
No, Baker's not in the lead for MVP right now, in my opinion. I still think that you give it to, again, the better players normally win it in the first place, but I'd probably give it to Josh Allen. At this point in time, who else are you going to give it to? Again, you could say I made a comment today, the Ravens look terrible right now, and obviously shows you how important Lamar is, but they got a slow start, so you can't throw him up there. I put Herbie up there. I think Justin Herbert's got a good conversation right now, but again, I think the Bucs are very good. I think they're the same team every year, though. I think that they have holes in the defensive side that need to address. Again, if they can make a trade, try and figure something out there, but they're just super injured right now. Another O-line kind of went through some turnover. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin's back now. They just got to get their team healthy and they can really see what they are. I would love to see this team make some noise in the playoffs, win a game or two, host a game specifically. But again, it's so tough for me to really pick against teams who have proven that proven that they can win games in the past, in the playoffs. I really think that, like, again, like I'm gonna say championship pedigree and teams haven't won, but like I would probably trust the Rams. I would probably trust the Eagles, and I'd probably trust the Lions to beat a team like the Bucks in the playoffs. So that's one where I think that they're a very, very good team. You can't count out Baker Mayfield. And again, if the defense comes along, they can win shootouts. And again, if the defense kind of helps that out, this team's very, very dangerous. But I can't go and say that they're a top contender, but they're a guarantee to make the playoffs. Like year in and year out, they either win their division or they're good enough to get that that playoff that walk-on spot. So I think again, they're guaranteed to make the playoffs. So at that point in time, you always have a chance. So
their defense has improved this year. They gave up 35 to the Seahawks, who I think are a good offense. Injuries have hurt them a little bit. Mike Evans, Bucky Irvin, but Baker is playing with the best of them right now. Emeka Egbuka has been in the top 5 probably wide receiver this year. I knew that was coming. But yeah, I don't know.
You traded him. You traded him. You can't claim it anymore. You traded him.
I wouldn't say they're not contenders, but they're a dangerous team. Their offense is going to be elite. The defense can play great situational football. So they'll be in the mix. Like they'll be in the mix with the Rams, the Packers, the Eagles, the Lions. Like the NFC is definitely the better conference this year. Like a team like the Buccaneers and a team like the Seahawks is why it has so much depth this season, because those teams are just great, not great teams. Those are good, well-rounded teams that can beat you any week, any wrong Sunday. They can just beat you. Baker's playing at a great level. Todd Bowles is coaching his team really well. And they haven't had the most impressive wins, but a win against the Seahawks is a good win. Seahawks are been a great defense. They are dealing with some injuries, but putting up 38 on the Seahawks is definitely impressive. And I think Baker has been. I think this is probably his best start to the year. Last year he was great, but this year he hasn't actually turned the ball over that much. Now he is throwing turnover where he plays for sure, but they haven't resulted in turnovers. And I just think that this has been his best year. Like last year, I probably would have had him around 13 as far as quarterbacks. He's playing his way to like stamp top 10 talks for me for Baker. So I think they're dangerous, not contenders, but dangerous for sure. Q, I think you go higher on the Bucks.
Yes. Obviously coming into the year, obviously I took a shot in the dark. I said Bills, Tampa, Super Bowl, just trying to be different. But not because I don't believe that there's a path that both of those teams can go to the Super Bowl. Obviously, we believe there's a chance Buffalo can get to a Super Bowl. Tampa is a little bit more far-fetched, but the NFC is a loaded conference this year. Their secondary has been very good. They got Jamel Dean, obviously good corner, but the 2 rookies, Jacob Harris and Benjamin Morrison. Benjamin Morrison, who was one of the top corners in the draft, he just was dealing with some injuries, but they have been playing well. Obviously, still banged up. They lost Kalijah Kancey, but they still got Vita Vea up front. Hassan Reddick playing well. O-line, obviously, been injured. Bucky Irvin out. But Baker Mayfield's been willing them, comeback play, coming back from down, game-winner drives and whatnot. Got Egbuka. Even with Mike Evans go down, still got your number 1 receiver. He's on pace for 1,500 plus and 17 touchdowns. He's not going to get 17 touchdowns. He's probably going to get more like 10. But that's still decent. We're talking about a rookie wide receiver coming in, having an immediate impact. Probably the best wide receiver in the room probably by the end of the year. Other people thought rookie wide receivers don't produce, even though we see that every year. Said he was going to be the 5th best wide receiver in the room.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, sure. Insert screenshot here. But yeah, I think they're decent, and they have a lot of moxie and a lot of grit. I think they took over the mantra of what Baker Mayfield is. I understand what you say about championship pedigree with these teams, but that Rams team is nowhere like that won the Super Bowl is nowhere near the team that they have now.
100%. That's what I'm saying. Like you got to take it with a grain of salt. But yeah,
based on last year's playoff game, and what we know of Jared Goff, if Jared Goff is going up against Baker Mayfield in a playoff game, I'm comfortably going to take Baker, who's been a better playoff performer than Goff. Obviously, the Eagles are a different story, but it's not like they haven't beat that team before. They've beaten that Eagles team, especially an Eagles team that was spiraling and not playing up to snuff, which you could kind of say that's where they are at right now. They could be, like I said, I think the Eagles are going to get better, like on defense and like everything, like towards the middle of the season. But let's just say it's just a tale of winning one-score games and things look sloppy. If they go into a playoff game against the Buccaneers, I trust Todd Bowles and Baker Mayfield to probably win, sneak a win out of that game.
Did the Lions, the Bucks not play the playoffs recently?
They did. They did.
The Lions won that one. Like I'm just
it was like a one-score game. Came out like Baker threw an
Detroit.
interception in the like fourth quarter.
Yeah. I don't know what year it was, but I thought that happened. So
it was
Baker's great that game.
23. But in terms of MVP race, I think it's no clear-cut one. But I think if you say Baker, I wouldn't say you're wrong. I think a mix it between Baker, Josh Allen, Dak, Matthew Stafford. I think there's a bunch of names you could put up there, but he's definitely making his mark and stamping himself as a top 10 quarterback.
No Herbo love, no Jay Herbo love.
It's been a rough 2 weeks.
No Jay Herbo love. Yeah, it has been, but I mean, I feel like a lot of the other guys still have their struggles too. I guess besides Baker, but
all right, I gotta we're bringing back the speak when you see a player better than topic, and I got a good one. It's timely, and it's player from one of these teams that's breaking out, having a breakout year. Honestly,
JSN.
Correct. Honestly, if if no one speaks on this list, I would not be surprised. Honestly,
we didn't even talk about the Seahawks, but I'm falling for Sam Darnold again. I'm not going to fall for it the whole year, but I'm falling. Sam Darnold, that's what I'm saying. He's doing the same thing as last year, and I think it's just going to drop off at a certain point. But
he's proven that it wasn't a 1 year wonder. He is playing a similar system that he was last year for sure.
But it also is like big time games, not just in the regular season, but like when it comes towards playoff implications. Like I'm still waiting to see that when they have to play. Like again, they lost to San Fran, they lost to Tampa. Have some wins, don't get me wrong, but I want to see him at the end of the year if they make the playoffs too.
No, yeah, he definitely perform in the playoffs. He's making big time throws that's just not schemed up. A lot of his back shorter stuff has been great. His passes to Jaxon Smith-Njigba have been great. I think
he's also on pace for 1,500.
Yeah, JSN has been leading the league like yards per route run. He's been going crazy, I think. All right,
yeah, they lost on a pick after he got hit.
All right. Speak when you see a player better than Jaxon Smith-Njigba. I don't know why he's doing that. Let me get it right, though. There we go. Speak when you see a player better than Jaxon Smith-Njigba. First player up, Marvin Harrison. We got a lot of Ohio State guys on the list. Spoiler alert. We're gonna be here soon. Don't worry about it. We want to come up. Next player.
Sorry, who's we in that situation?
Max, you don't know the lore because you're not in Discord. But
he said Marvin Harrison Jr. was a better prospect than Megatron, the one that played for the Lions, the first ballot Hall of Famer.
I've heard of him.
Was there another Megatron we didn't know of? But next player up is going to be Emeka Egbuka. Hey, Emeka is right there with him this year. I think he's fourth in receiving yards this year. But third. Next player up, Garrett Wilson.
Yeah. Great. All right. This is one where I love G Willie. I saw Pick a Side do this too, and I was like, when they were going half and half on Garrett Wilson, I think Garrett Wilson's situation damages him so much. I think if you give Garrett Wilson, again, a quarterback like Sam Darnold who can't get the football out, right? If you give him a better situation, again, I think he's had a revolving door of shit at the quarterback position, especially as far as getting the football out. You see the stud plays that he makes. Exactly. You see the star plays that he makes at times. I know everyone gets hyped up over the one-handed Jordan catch or whatever. I've had Garrett Wilson close to my top 10 for a long time. I think Garrett Wilson is a stud. I don't draft him in fantasy because situational. I don't think that he's in a good situation at all. I think he's a great route runner. He has great hands, and he's got the spec catch ability. So I'm gonna say yes to Garrett Wilson. No shade to JSN. I am high on Garrett Wilson though too.
All right, Q. Since you haven't talked, we're gonna keep going for you.
I feel like there's gonna be so many players down here that are not as good as Garrett Wilson. You put Garrett Wilson in pretty fast.
Garrett Wilson was the closest one, and I'm a lead. I have a personal bias to JSN. I thought he was the best wide receiver in the room, which he was.
Right. There's no disrespect to JSN. They're both studs, but
Terry McLaurin had a great year last year, so
fine. G Willie.
He hasn't played this year.
That's Garrett Wilson.
Next person up.
What are we doing?
What do you mean? You're sleeping on Devonta Smith. He doesn't have a good quarterback. He could be a wide receiver one. He is extremely talented.
You have Smitty over Garrett Wilson.
They're on the same level. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why you acting like that, Max. Bro, Devonta Smith is extremely talented. He's a wide receiver.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%.
He Jalen Hurts, and he's a great route runner. He's great at the catch point. He's great at the catch. Devonta Smith can do a lot of things. He can do a lot of things. He just is not playing in every offense. Next player up is going to be Amon-Ra.
Yeah, it was big, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
next year, by the end of the year, though, will be some conversation.
I feel like JSN kind of do a lot of the same stuff, but like JSN has been more outside on the boundary this year, or more deeper passes this year too. Like JSN obviously been better this year, but I think they do a lot of same stuff. People were questioning if JSN was going to be just primary slot guy last year because of what he did last year in college as well. But this year he's been more on the boundary. He's had deeper routes.
I'm taking Amon-Ra inside the numbers, obviously. I'm taking Amon-Ra inside the numbers. I would have spoke for Amon-Ra as well.
Okay.
Who else? You have more people left or no?
That was the last one. Let's move on. Broncos hand the Eagles their first loss of the season. Comeback win. They were down by 14 points heading into in the fourth quarter, I think. And they come back with Bo Nix. I think he went like 13 of 16 or something like that in the fourth quarter. Let a game-winning drive, and the Eagles lose. Where's the question? Oh, what is wrong with the Eagles' offense? That's the question. We're trying to get into the bottom of it. Well, actually, let me ask this: Will the Eagles' offense hold them back from Super Bowl contention? That's my question. Q.
Yes, I believe so. Because I came in, that was a lot of my speculation with the Eagles. Again, like I said, they have a great roster, so they can talent their way to 10+ wins. That doesn't mean you're a great team. And as of right now, they're not playing like a great team and not playing like a Super Bowl championship team. I said I thought it was highly unlikely that you were going to be able to get that same rushing protection from Saquon Barkley this year, partly due to that's a lot of wear and tear. He had 500 touches, and also due to like I personally would have tried to preserve him for the playoffs and keep him as fresh as possible. Not that they're trying to preserve him, but the rushing offense has not been the same. The O-line has not been the same. It's been banged up. They lost some pieces. New OC, same old route concepts. Like I said, if they were going to be able to bridge the gap, they were going to need to be better in the pass game to supplement having probably most likely a worse run game, and that's exactly what's going on right now. They're just not getting better in the pass game. We've seen glimpses of it for two halves this year, but outside of that, it hasn't really been much. The defense has been playing opportune sometimes and kept them in games and a lot of them winning games, but eventually it was going to come to bite them back, and it did against the Broncos. There was some overthrows in there. There was some misses, some miscommunication, whatever the case may be, but this loss should be a good thing for them so they can address what they need desperately, and that's to fix the pass game. You got to threaten them somehow, and then hopefully if you start, getting the pass game up, you could help Saquon get going because that's the only way you're going to be able to win the Super Bowl. You can't do the same thing twice and expect to win. Like, that's just not how Super Bowl teams operate. Obviously, people got tape on you now. They're selling out to stop Saquon, so you got to do something different. And if you're not throwing the ball down the field or throwing over the middle and whatnot, it's just not going to work. Like, now you got all this noise in the locker room, people talking. Devonta Smith, who's notoriously quiet, he started talking and things like that. Just a whole lot of miscommunication going on. like I think a bad OC hire. If they kept it in house, I think they should have went outside. Yeah, they need to just get better. The pass game is like really gonna hinder them from winning the Super Bowl, or at least even getting back to the Super Bowl, in my opinion.
There will definitely be growing pains, obviously, going forward with the offensive coordinator. I think especially getting a new OC, leaving Kellen Moore. Last year, they did have a slow start, though. First 3 games, they lost 2 of them, only put up 15 points to the Saints. Like, it wasn't like their offense was necessarily humming last year either towards the start. Again, like 3 games that kind of scare you going to the bye in week 5. This year, I think they're in a tougher position because of how the schedule kind of toughens up the later on they go. They still get the Giants twice. They get the Commanders twice. But after that, they got to run through the Bills. They got to run through the NFC North. They have to run through the Raiders, I think they get, but they also have the Chargers as well. The Vikings, just some tough games with good defenses that could actually pose some questions and some problems to Jalen Hurts. And that's kind of it's been the conversation though for years now, is just Jalen Hurts being a thrower of the football is just never as consistent as everyone talks about. Again, his Super Bowl obviously played very, very well in those big moments, but there have been times throughout the regular season where there's lulls. We get the A.J. Brown discourse, I feel like, every year now. There is just disagreements with that and getting the ball out. There was 2 plays last week. I think he overthrew A.J. Brown twice on just deep go balls that, again, one of those gets in, that's game. So I think that there definitely needs to be some better connection or better play calling. I don't even know, because you have him and AJ Brown have been together for years. So there's obviously something is out of sync there. I don't think it's enough to hinder this team from really pushing back for another repeat Super Bowl. I do agree with what Q said. They need to switch up some form of the offense, because you can't do the same thing twice and expect that team just to let it happen. With that being said, though, Saquon he's the focal point of their offense. He's what gets it to go. They've had injuries to the O-line. Did Landon Dickerson, is he out or no? Is he fine?
He's going, and now I think he's dealing like an ankle.
But like the play, he like went out of the game. I don't even remember if he went back in. So like the O-line, obviously, like the whole tush push, the run game, Philly is built on that O-line. They're built on Jalen Hurts. They're built on Saquon Barkley being able to run the football, being able to dominate the trenches, just being able to dominate the line of scrimmage. That opens up the passing game. And to be honest, they haven't been able to get it going, but they're still 4-1. Should be 5-1. It's a bad loss. Or it should be 5-0, but it's a bad loss. You lose the game for yourself. I just don't think they have the luxury of these bad losses going forward. Again, you probably beat the Giants twice. You maybe split with the Commanders, but you have tough defenses from the NFC North. You have a tough team in the Chargers, a tough team in the Bills, obviously, that I don't think you could take lightly, but they'll still be in the playoffs. They'll still push. And I think that they have the talent to push them to 10, 11 wins pretty easily, but maybe not the cohesiveness on offense to push them to another Super Bowl.
I personally feel like I don't know. Their offense has been very, very underwhelming. They've been a mediocre to bad running game. Their passing offense is among the worst in the league. Obviously, it was better against Denver, but Denver wasn't. They were comfortable playing man-to-man on them and getting to the passer. The real issue with this offense, I think, has been the offensive line. Their interior of the offensive line hasn't been good, and that's why they haven't been able to run the ball on the level that they usually do. This is supposed to be a run-first team, and they're not creating the explosive runs like they was last year to really carry this offense. Obviously, their passing offense is not on the same page, and it's not potent. It has been potent since 2022. That's just not how this team operates. They're a run-first team, and if you dare to play man, A.J. Brown could beat you on a slant, or he can beat you over the top. Devonta Smith can beat you over the top, or he can beat you on a quick pass. And that's how they operate. They operate off play action. And when you play man, if you dare to play man, that's when they can really beat you. Jalen Hurts has not been good against zone. I don't think really ever. Hasn't been good against zone this year. And he does have a lot of time to throw most of the times, but people haven't been open. The play calling has been bad. The execution have been bad. They haven't been able to put full games together of great offensive play. They were pretty good through 3 quarters in this game, and then in the 4th quarter they were awful. Against the Rams, they were terrible in the first half, really good in the second half. Against the Buccaneers, they were really good in the first half, terrible in the second half. this offense has been just bad, like generally. And the reason they've been able to be 4-1 through 5 weeks is because defensively they've been super clutch. Their special teams play has been great, so they've been able to squeak by on these games. I do think they're probably now. I would say they're still in the mix to be in the Super Bowl just off of the fact that they have a talented roster, but their coaching hasn't been great on offense. With Patullo hasn't been calling great plays consistently. Nick Sirianni isn't calling plays, so I can't really put blame on him. But it takes coaching to get the most out of your talent. If you don't have good coaching, you're not going to win a Super Bowl. If Patullo doesn't call better plays, they're not winning the Super Bowl. If the interior of their offensive line doesn't play better and get healthy, they're not winning the Super Bowl. I think the Lions are a better coach team than them right now, and they have comparable talent, at least on the offensive end. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think the Lions are the front runner right now in the NFC. I think they're the best team in the league, honestly. They're one of the most well-coached teams in the league, and they have the talent to be in that conversation. And they have been really outstanding, despite the fact they lost Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. So I think also that Dan Campbell is the head of the coach of the year conversations right now as well. So I think the Lions are the best team in the NFC. And if I had to pick a Super Bowl champion today, they would be at the top of that list, honestly. But yes. Last topic we got today is the Colts dog walk the Raiders. Max predicted them to win 4 games. I think they are there already.
I said 3. I said 3. I already took my apology tour on this one. I already took my apology tour on this one. Nothing else to say. Shitty teams, but still, it's fine. It's fine.
Shitty teams.
I'm not serious. I'm coping. Calm down. Calm down.
Are the Colts this year's Vikings team, and is Daniel Jones this year's Sam Darnold?
Maybe I would probably like again. I feel like I actually had the start of the year. I feel like I had a little bit of belief that this Vikings team could actually get something done and maybe win a playoff game. I don't have that view with the Colts. I don't think, again, when push comes to shove, I think if they play a tough team, I guess if they host it, maybe I think differently. Indy at home, I think would be a tough team to play for sure. It's kind of a cop-out answer, but I do feel like Seattle is this year's Minnesota as far as like just, again, it's still Sam Darnold. I didn't necessarily believe that he was going to be putting out this right now, but I do think at the end of the day, it's all of a sham. I think that like when you get down to playoff games, I think Seattle will be a good regular season team. A sham's kind of a stretch, but I think they just won't be able to beat the top dogs. I still think that Indy, like, again, it's worked. It has worked. Don't get me wrong. You beat a team like the Broncos. That's big. I think the Broncos have a good defense, solid team. The other wins are the Titans, the Raiders, the Dolphins. So you do kind of have some bad teams in there. Again, you get your home games. Put up a fight against the Rams, lost. So that kind of gives you a little bit of confidence going forward. But I need to see them versus the Jags. I need to see them versus the Texans. I can't say that quite yet because they do have a couple teams where I think I can get a little bit of a better feel about them. But at this point in time, I see no reason why they can't make the playoffs. They have a pretty easy schedule the rest of the way through. This team, again, they play the Seahawks. They play the 49ers. They play the Chiefs. Tough games. But again, with what they've shown, why can't they beat the Cardinals? Why can't they beat the Titans, the Steelers, the Falcons? Like, there are much more winnable games on the schedule. So I don't think that they'd be this year's Minnesota Vikings just because I feel like Minnesota had a little more belief in actually posing a threat to teams in the playoffs. Maybe I'm too naive on them once again. I just don't think this team still has enough juice to kind of push them over the top to beat because I would imagine them to be a wild card team. So if I don't think that they're a good enough team to walk into LA for the Chargers, to walk into who else is going to win the divisions? I'm trying to think now.
They are definitely good enough to beat the Chargers, bro. Come on, dog.
What team did you think the Vikings could beat in the NFC last year? What team do you realistically think the Vikings had a chance to
We're
beat?
talking about like week 5, week 6, right? Because I'm
That's
not saying not the end of the year.
you're literally describing the Vikings because everybody thought they were going to lose round one because nobody believes Sam Darnold, which proved to be true.
I believe
but,
in Sam Darnold.
Bro,
I believe in the Vikings last year.
They are literally
Who though?
Huh?
Who do you think they could beat in that playoff field? Who did you
I
think
told
they
you
would?
they beat the Bucks. I told you they'd be better than the Bucks last year. I said that before the year. That's on film. That's on film. That's on
they
film.
could actually they could potentially beat the Bucks. But I do think they're this year's Vikings team. Like they're a extremely well-rounded team, extremely well-coached team that will win a lot of regular season games. But when it comes to the playoffs, nobody's trusting Daniel Jones to actually go in a playoff game and win one. Now he has already done that. Yes, I understand. Which Sam Darnold has not. But when we talk about the powers of the AFC, you're not going to confidently go in there and say in a playoff game that they're going to go and win. It depends on who they face. Honestly, it depends on who they face. They can beat some teams in the AFC. They can beat the Broncos. They can beat the Chargers. They can beat the Jaguars. They can beat those teams for sure.
I think that would involve them being the 5 seed. Again,
yeah,
win the division.
It depends on who they face. It depends on who they face, but they can win a playoff game. And I think the Vikings could beat one or two teams in the NFC last year.
One thing I said earlier, and I will vouch on this. If they get a home playoff game, in my opinion, I just don't think they'll win the division. But if they get a home playoff game, I do think they actually have a chance to beat majority of teams. I do think that Indy actually is a good place, home football, to win a home playoff game. So that would change my opinion a little bit. I just don't think they win the division right now.
The Colts are probably the second most well-rounded team in the entire NFL, and they're playing like the most well-rounded team in the NFL because their actual offense has been performing better than the Eagles. Their defense has been performing well as well. Their running game is elite. They have a good group of weapons as well. And Shane Steichen is calling games with the best of them. I think they had Jonathan Taylor has been the best running back this season. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think Jonathan Taylor should be pretty close to MVP ballots. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll talk about that. But Puka's higher. Puka's higher than JT in my opinion.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. Puka has Matthew Stafford.
But who do you think has a better chance to win Offensive Player of the Year right now, Puka or JT?
Puka.
Okay, but you think JT means more. I don't know. I still think Puka would be. I think both of them would be like a 5, 4, 5, 6 kind of like at the after all the top quarterbacks. I agree. He should like be in a graphic with MVP odds, but I would put Puka ahead of him.
Yeah, I don't think the Colts are going to necessarily do anything in the playoffs because their quarterback is still Daniel Jones. I think at most they win one game. As soon as they face a real contender like a Chiefs or a Bills, they're going to lose. That's pretty much it. Yeah, when you need Daniel Jones to make them big boy throws under pressure, I'm not seeing it in the playoffs. He potentially could prove me wrong, but we will see. I mean, obviously Kevin O'Connell does a lot for you. Even if you're not playing out there, I don't know. And Shane Steichen has done a great job with Daniel Jones this year as well. It's really crazy. A lot of people doubted Shane Steichen. They say he was making the wrong move. They're going to be trash this year, and he's done it again. I did say it was more likely than Anthony Richardson being good, and I was perfectly spot on with that. So let's talk about the Raiders. I think.
Did you even not like?
Whoa. First off, you have some nerve to even try to speak on the Colts when you were not speaking this highly on the Colts literally a month ago. You were literally downplaying the roster of the Colts, like literally there's receipts. So you doing this whole,
I mean, I said that
roster is ridiculous. Second of all, the parallels between the Colts and the Vikings are like 100% like similar. Like good head coach and play caller, good DC, good D line, good offensive line, better running back, but still good running back. good cast of weapons. Obviously, you got Justin Jefferson, the best wide receiver in football, but with the Colts, you fill it in with the Agnew with a bunch of other weapons on the outside, and Tyler Warren, who's a top 5 tight end in the NFL right now today. All that came together. You put a quarterback behind it that can make the easy throws and make the easy reads. And Shane Steichen draws them up. Same way Kevin O'Connell did for Sam Darnold last year, and you can win a bunch of games. Are they going to get into the playoffs and win a playoff game? Most likely not, because you're in the AFC and you're facing off against Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. That's just a daunting task to go through. It'd be a little bit easier in the NFC. And even then, they couldn't beat the Rams and they couldn't beat the Lions. Like, those are the teams that they lost to last year, and those are the teams they most likely were going to have to play anyway. We don't believe that the Daniel Jones is able to go toe-to-toe with any of those top guys, so it doesn't matter. But just because they don't win a playoff game doesn't mean that this year is a quote-unquote sham. It was just clearly they're like a good team and a quarterback away. Do they have that quarterback right now? No, but they have a competent quarterback that can follow the plays. So, yes, I do think that they're this year's Vikings, and Daniel Jones is this year's Sam Darnold, and should get a decent payday as long as he's able to keep this up.
All right. Last topic I want to touch on this before we go. Oh, no, we're talking about the Raiders. The Raiders, I think, were people's favorites to make a jump this year because they got Geno Smith, and he's obviously a big upgrade over Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, supposedly. And then they drafted Ashton Jeanty, who's going to be a great back in year one. They got Pete Carroll, who is known to be a good head coach. But the Raiders are terrible. They suck. They're not good at their offense is not good. Their defense is not good. Everything about the team is trash. So what's really next for the Raiders? How do they try to salvage the season? How do they try to move on in the future? Because they paid Geno Smith they gave Geno Smith a 2-year, $75 million extension. What's next for the Raiders? Like, do they ride this year out with Geno and play him next year, or what's up?
I don't think there's nothing next for the Raiders. I think they went all in or tried to go all in. They picked Ashton Jeanty, a running back, top 10. Paid Geno Smith, got a new head coach, but I just don't think it was enough. A running back picking that high is not enough. That wasn't that good enough. It wasn't a generational talent. It wasn't enough to change the fortunes of your team. You got Geno Smith, but we're not talking about like a top echelon quarterback. As of right now, he's a bottom 10 quarterback. When you got him, you probably thought he was more closer to 15 and 10. That's just not what you've gotten. Defense is still bad. Obviously, you got Brock Bowers, but he's been banged up. So I think at this point, it's like it'd be hard. Like it'd be hard for them to come back and like even make an attempt to make the playoffs. Like they're just too deep in the hole. And with teams like the Colts who are steady going, Jags steady going, Pittsburgh is still winning games. Patriots, all that, they're just behind the 8 ball too much, and they still got to play those teams, and they're better than them. So I think they should probably just go on full on rebuild, trade Max Crosby. That's your best asset. If I was them, I'd go call Dallas and try to see if they could get one of those first round picks from Max Crosby. If not, a second round pick or something like that. The Dallas could really use a Max Crosby, and because the Raiders definitely don't have a use for him because they're never going to be up in games for them to even be useful for them. At least with Dallas, they're always going to have a fighting chance, and they're in the easier conference. But yeah, the whole Raiders thing as of right now is just a failed experiment. I don't think it's going to get better.
I believe I was low on this team coming in this year. When picking our strength of schedule matchups, I had the Bears beating them, and I think I got some looks for that. For me not saying their offense was going to be good, their defense was going to be good. I know definitely on the socials people weren't liking that, which is fine. I think I was under the impression that, again, I thought this team would be the worst in the division. I thought they had a glaring hole in the defensive side and in the O-line. What? Am I remembering it wrong or no?
I think you might be, but
it's fine. I remember picking for this team, I think I had them winning 5 or 6 games. So I'll go back.
I'm about to quickly fact check that.
I do remember the Bears comment. I was pretty sure that I picked this team, but
go ahead.
Either way, I think this team, again, it's the most. This team is just poised to continue the year as is, and then draft a quarterback in the offseason, and that's going to be it. And I honestly think that this team is just, again, there's too much of a lack of talent at different positions. too many new people in the area. Did I pick the team or no?
Hold on. I'm watching it. Hold on.
Am I the one who picks it, or is it Q?
Hold on.
I don't think I picked the Raiders because I would probably try to be respectful and give them 7, but even then I would pick 7.
I know I picked the Chargers.
I know.
I picked the Broncos. I picked the Broncos and the Chargers. Because I was low on the Broncos. Q did.
I don't know. I'm trying to look for Max. I know. I'm just not sure that was the case. You had to be a bad Q. I know that. I do remember that. That's whatever. It's cool. I don't really care.
There's no way I'm thinking that I would have them over any of the other 3 teams in the division because I was low on the Broncos, but I still had them winning 8 games, so I can look back and make sure. But no, this team is cooked. There's not much to look forward to on this team. I think if you're a Raiders fan, you look forward to what quarterback you want to draft next year to hopefully develop behind Geno. Luckily, there are a lot of quarterbacks in this draft. I don't think they're as top end talent as everyone wants to think, but if you can pick your guy, again, you have depending on who comes out. Nussmeier, Sellers, Klubnik, Mateer. I don't even know. Ty Simpson, if he enters the draft. There's a lot of guys who could enter the draft. If you can get your guy, develop him, boom, you have not have a quarterback. But I think it's, as of right now, the Geno experience is not looking good at all.
Yeah, the Raiders are terrible. They have nothing to look forward to in the immediate future outside of Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers. Outside of that, everything you shouldn't be looking forward to it. You should be trying to trade Max Crosby immediately this season. Get as much value as you can for him immediately. I honestly don't like the Pete Carroll hire because I don't like the Pete Carroll hire because he is very, very old. He's not the type of coach you need to be going into a rebuild with. And the Raiders need to continue to rebuild. I know their rebuild hasn't been successful so far, but Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty are foundational pieces. In the upcoming draft, I wouldn't take a quarterback. I would probably try to build out this offensive line. If you can't do it, I would definitely build out this offensive line. Try to work on the defense a little bit too as well. Maybe take a quarterback in like the 3rd or 4th round or something like that. But in the 1st round, no, the quarterbacks aren't that good this year. Unless somebody continues to emerge, maybe Ty Simpson, Mendoza. We'll see. I think is Dante Moore eligible? I don't think so.
Yes,
he is.
Yeah, because he started at UCLA, backed up Dylan Gabriel last year, and this is his 3rd year.
Yeah, Dante eligible. We will see. Depend, I wish he's a little bit more mobile. But what Max? Oh, I guess he's watching it. But yeah, the Raiders are terrible. Geno Smith has fallen off a cliff, and I was a big proponent of his throughout the last 2 seasons, and he's just been awful. It's
better than Jared Goff.
You can't predict this fall off whatsoever. Like, he's been one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. It's just very, very unpredictable. What's up?
How can we not predict the fall off of a career backup who caught fire for 2.5 years?
When do people just catch fire for 3 years, bro? When does that happen? Nobody ever does that.
People catch fire for 3 years all the time.
Who?
Carson Palmer. Kurt Warner he was bagging up groceries in the supermarket, and next year won an MVP in the league.
Latif, your comment is that they are guaranteed to be a top 10 offense. That was your take.
Oh, well,
you said top 10 offense, which I disagreed with, which then you went down the line of proving why they would be a top 10 offense.
Hey, that would have been fine if Geno Smith would just been turned into a worst quarterback in the league. I don't know what to tell you. He's been like the worst starter in the league. They got Ashton Genty, who was looking better over the last 2 weeks. They have Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers is a fine weapon. Like, they should have been a borderline top 10 offense if Geno Smith just hasn't been abysmal.
Q said Seattle the AFC, but you're right. You did say at most 8-9 wins. So you gave the respect to saying 8-9. I want to make sure. I just want to hear my take. I'm not trying to keep this video going. I'm sorry. I thought I said that there would be shit.
Did you even get to your take?
No, I spoke last. That's why I'm trying to run through everyone. If I said anything else, my fault.
Okay, yeah, I think you agree with Q on the 8-9 wins thing. That's my point. Like,
that was for me. That was at best. That's being optimistic. I didn't think they were that good.
I think Q predicted 7-10. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, Max, any day now. I'm tired.
Ibuka, Colts. I'm up, man. We trying to tell folks Steelers. We trying to tell you.
Bro, you said you've been used wrong by the Steelers in week 1, bro. All right.
No, I said I may. I said no. That wasn't. That was during the Patriots game. That was week 3 during the Patriots game. I'm like, I may have been wrong because they weren't doing anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? But now that I'm wrong, I'm gonna be right by default because we butt right now, and that gives them a 4-game runway to just like win games. As long as the Steelers win 11 games, they probably win the division. So I didn't predict that, but I predicted they was gonna make the playoffs, and they probably will. As long as they win the division, because I think the Patriots and the Jags probably hold them down. Houston, maybe. I don't know.
Nice.
Houston garbage right now. All right, man, come on.
I said I don't think this offense can be top 10. If I don't believe in the Broncos, I'm not believing in the Raiders. So I picked them to be last in the division.
Okay. Congrats. That's gonna do it for the video. It's getting late. Got a lot of stuff to do. See y'all on probably Wednesday or Thursday. We out.